But the pixels. For me, it depends on where in the game I am and like what I'm doing. It's more or less serious. Yeah.
Then that's where I'm like, yeah, they need to go. Not because of their performance, not because of a mistake, because
Because
you're
they're
just
being a
trying,
bloody idiot.
yeah, you're just trying to ruin it for everybody. And that kind of stuff I take serious.
That's
Now,
valid.
I mean, we go do content, we're still gonna, have a good time. And if we wipe and it's because, we all just messed up, I don't see the point in getting all butthurt and mad because getting frustrated just makes you perform more poorly the next time.
That's what she said.
But did she though?
No, but she did, like, apparently decide to go swimming in lava, so that was fun.
Don't swim in the lava.
Oh no, I saw a hole and I was like, hey, what's down here?
Ooh, it's shiny red water. It's pretty.
I mean, I didn't die that, I didn't get hurt that bad, so I take that as a win. I will take the win where I can get it. Hmm. Ah, I do need you to.
So, Aeon, I'm guessing you've been playing since vanilla or somewhere
Yeah.
around there.
Yeah. I didn't raid or anything in vanilla. I got to vanilla a little bit later, and I was a young kid, so I didn't really understand things quite well as I do now. So in vanilla, I got to, I don't know, around like level 45. And then when Burning Crusade came out, that's when I actually hit max level and went and raided and whatnot. And then I've played since.
I've never hit max level till now. And I only
I,
say that because my Xiaomi is level 80. I
well,
mean, honestly, my Blood Elf Hunter at 66 is still higher than I've ever accomplished. So,
Yeah, I
so that's
literally
part of
have
just
one of each character of each. Like, I have too many classes leveled, so I have to I have to try to restrict myself and uh, choose who I'm going to use more sparingly.
oh, anyway. I just was, I basically spent my career in WoW all by my little lonesome. And even when I was in a gold, they never cared about, you know, helping somebody learn or growing or figuring, you're just left to your own devices unless you're big enough to go raiding. And so then I was never on a raid. Never really did PvP. So And then Minnie brought me here, and I'm like, hey, I like you guys. You guys pretty cool. I'm lost. I don't know where I'm going. Oh, wait. Yay, this is familiar. Um, oh, let's go I don't want to go the other way. I came back out here. Why can't I be bastards? Making it difficult.
Well, see, I've primarily avoided guilds because a lot of times, if you're running around in some of the main cities, if you look at
Uh-huh.
trade chat and some of the just ignorant, childish nonsense you see people
Um,
posting and typing, I
sir,
it,
I think we've already established that I do not pay attention to chat.
well, I'm just saying as an example, some of the behaviors just seem like very immature, childish behaviors, and
I
so
resemble that remark.
you kind of associate that with WoW in general because that's pretty much the kind of you see every day.
Hmm.
And so I always figured if I got in a guild, I'd be in here with a bunch of kids, and they would be, you know, just like acting a fool and be elitist jerks. And so I stayed to myself. It's like you apply
Ah,
for a random LFG raid or something, and you get declined from 10 out of 11 raids because you're not the right class or spec, or just that elitist attitude.
fair.
And
But
I'll
for the
just rate.
record, a lot of times I act more my shoe size than my age. So
Well, now look,
there's
there's
that.
nothing wrong with having a young at heart mentality, but we're all mature adults here.
We
We
are.
share some level of common respect for other people.
We do. I didn't get that memo. I don't think I was pinged on that one. I just run in sarcasm, so
It's like
I'm
having a
very,
second mini in chat. It's like I can't lose for winning here.
I'm just very fluent in sarcasm and Taiwanese.
Right?
What am I doing? I'm just running around.
It's kind of like me
Here for
filling
take.
out this talent tree for my mage. I'm just clicking.
Oh,
A good baseline is just go Wowhead and then go to the talents there and choose kind of the talents on more of like what you do. And it's a really good baseline. Their talents aren't always perfect, um, but that's from like a min maxer point of view rather than just hey, let's go use these and they'll work for what we're trying to get done.
Well, now once I get to 80 or max level, I usually do that. But when I'm leveling, I just go through and click on stuff because the way the game is now, you have typically 4 or more talent builds depending on content you're doing.
Sure.
Um,
mm,
and that's not including a PvP. You got these council and cleave and mythic and raid plus cleave. And so, I mean, do that once I get there. But for right now, I don't care about my damage. I don't care if I got a half AoE and half single target. I just start lopping points in. So I'm just kind of glancing over and like, ooh, that looks cool.
Right.
Like I don't even know what
Yeah,
stats
yeah.
I'm
While
supposed
you're
to be
while
running.
you're while you're leveling, it's not too much of a thing.
Now, a while back, I did find a website that would suggest your next best, like for every level, where you should be spending that talent point. But I don't see it that important. You level so fast, um, just playing the game. Like since I've been sitting here chit chatting, I went from 43 or 44 to like 54, and I'm basically just running around randomly shooting mobs. I don't know if I'm 100% on board with that. It makes it nice after you get a couple of characters and you're just tired of the leveling grind, but at the same time, I believe people miss a lot of the game.
That's true.
Everything is so geared toward, in level content, and there's so much content from all the expansions that they just kind of push you to the to the end and then say, here you can get all this gear fairly fast. Now have
Hmm.
fun.
Where am I going now? Whee! Walking is so slow. Oh, that's funny.
You said you're playing a Death Knight.
Uh-huh.
Have you already got out of the starting area?
Uh, I mean, as soon as it did the whatchamacallies, it took me to Ogrimmar. So you start
Oh,
at
okay.
like level 10. What am I doing? I'm doing this. I don't know what I'm doing. Ah, that is what I'd be doing. Um,
I've got a level 23 Blood Death Knight that he's just been sitting there forever. I
Poor
haven't
guy.
touched him.
That poor
Yeah.
guy.
Well, I leveled my Frost and my Unholy, and then Remix, I leveled like 15 more characters because I made a horde for every class. I already had an alliance for every spec of every class, but I couldn't pass up the speed leveling in Remix.
I was
I,
doing the best I can. I don't know if I'm doing this right or whatever, but I'll figure shit out eventually.
I think I have room on my account for at least a Haranir when we get the new race.
Oh, 100%.
The the Alliance trolls, the freaking badass.
But
Like I'm like I want. I'm gonna make it a druid too, just because.
well, they're just big ass reskins of night elves, though. That's my only complaint.
But it's not just green.
If you look at all their animations, they have the same dance, the same jump as night elves. They
That I
could
don't
not
care
get
about.
creative.
Sage was showing us in the beta since only four of us were there for a raid. He decided to show us, and it's like freaking. It was me, Baron, Sage, and Alkiria.
Oh,
But
Valkyrie.
yeah, Alkiria.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was like the four of us. That was it. But then he was showing us on the beta. I'm like, I was not a fan of the trolls, but now me wanties.
It's like the illegitimate baby of a troll and a night elf.
I don't give a shit. Like it looks freaking phenomenal.
Are they making them like pandas where you can be Horde or Alliance?
Yes.
And really, I thought it was
Oh,
just horde. I thought it was just alliance.
No.
it's probably
I don't
like pandas
remember.
and Drakthir. You can be
I
either
was
one.
I
Yo.
was trying. I thought They're saying that it was only Alliance.
No, Blizzard loves the Horde. They got to give them a little bit of everything.
I'd argue that they like the Alliance more.
Says every Horde player, and every Alliance player says they like Horde more. You cannot, you cannot deny that in older WoW, Horde always had the best racials when racials actually meant something.
I disagree. I think humans have the best racials in the game since they've been a thing.
What, one trinket, a free
Oh,
trinket?
a free trinket's pretty big, especially if you PvP. But that aside, you also get free stats. You know, you get 2% more of all your secondary stats: haste, mastery, crit, verse. You get 2% more. Can't tell me that's nothing. So, like, if you got 400 mastery right now, well, if you're a human, you'd have 408 because you'd have 2% more. And that's for all four of the secondary stats.
Really?
Yep.
Now that was not in original WoW, was
And
it?
it was not an original WoW. And they barely changed that recently, but before the last change where they did add it, it used to be a flat 1% to all four of them. And they used to get 10% more rep gain too.
Okay, rep gain in classic was a big thing. I can give you that. But
They got 10% more rep than anyone else. And that
who was
was
it?
in classic.
Orcs had berserking. Is that right?
The best thing Orcs had was like +5 axe skill. That now if you were
Maximum
a
weapon
pet, now
skills
if you were
mattered.
a hunter, then you were an orc because they had like more pet damage or something. Priests, you were always a dwarf priest because they had like fear resist.
I think people. Well, you all saw a lot of undead rogues, so undeads have to have some kind of passive.
No, like their big undead's big thing was like, oh, we can cannibalize you, which is kind of cool.
I'm
But like,
I was that's a pretty big deal, I would think.
Well, it's kind of like food and
it's like, yeah,
mana
it's
and
just
everything. Now
healing.
it's irrelevant since they gave everybody this little. Oh, I don't even. You know, the little green leaf where you stop and eat and recover your health.
Oh yeah,
Just
yeah.
like
I
every
like that.
class gets it. Yeah, that
I don't care. I like it.
I miss the days when you had to
That
stop and eat.
that has helped. That has helped me. Oh shit.
I think most
Why are
classes,
you not
your
moving
out of
off the street?
combat regen is so high now. It's even if you don't eat, you just wait a few seconds and you're back to full health. Nobody
Yeah.
just sits at like half health.
All right. Where am I going now? Go away. You are annoying me. Sure. Oh. Um,
Well,
oh,
you know, people talk about racials don't matter anymore. I would say I have to disagree on as far as they're not as important maybe as they were, but they're still beneficial.
Yeah, so like the racial isn't gonna make or break like your raid, right? But it definitely makes a difference. To say that it doesn't, like, imagine
yay.
if imagine if your whole raid was humans. You got 2%,
Fudge. Dude.
more of all your secondary stats. Well, like add up all those secondary stats for all, 20 characters, right? So like, if I got no, I mean my gear is higher, but 477, 392, 356, 10. So I have like 1235 with my 2% bonus. So like times 0.98. So I have like 1200 of secondary stats, right? You got 20 people times zero point zero 0.02. That's an extra 500 secondary stats. Is it necessarily like gonna be, groundbreaking? Like, no, by no means, but you can't say that that's not nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the scheme of things, looking at like our some of the food buffs now, when we had 100,000 strength, or whatever the high level was for your main stat, when you talk about 300 more strength from a food buff, eh, that's what, less than 1%, but it's just a little more.
Right.
A lot of times I felt like even without a food buff, what increase is that to my DPS, all things considered, if everything was identical? Um, so I feel like with the stat squish, little bits are more pertinent, more relative to, increases. Just because one or two, strength now is a bigger deal than. But I think like you can still argue, you know, like escape artists for gnomes is beneficial in PvP, or I guess a lot of people were playing High Mountain Tauren in PvP because of some of their racials.
Right.
Uh,
Like a high
even
mountain
Cloterian,
Tauren is good for tanking compared to like other druids. So if you're going to be a druid tank, it's better be a high mountain druid rather than a regular Tauren or troll or whatever.
and I think
But the
from my
difference is minute.
yeah, I mean, when you start talking about 1 to 2%, or this over that, like you said, it's not a make or break, deal or no deal type of thing. It's if you're a person that wants to min max, then I think it's Cloterian have
They get
plus
healing when they
two
get
or
hit.
three. Or
2%
which
healing from the damage done when they get hit.
which class or which race is it that has like +3 versatility? Or they did have
Coltern
like a
has that
percent.
too.
Okay,
But
to
not
me,
3, it was 1%. So it was 1% verse, right? But that's why I
okay.
said, like, I don't know what it is now because they just changed the humans without freaking putting it in the patch notes. So now it's 2% of your stats get, added on. It's not a flat 2%. So, you're saying, oh, well, Coltarian or, the Tauren were getting 1% verse. Well, so were humans. Plus 1% haste, crit, and mastery. They were the only one that were getting all four. Everyone else was like, oh, here's 1% verse or 1% dodge or 1% crit, but no other race was getting all four. They were the only race in the game that got all four at 1%. That's 4%. And those stats weren't going to your diminishing returns. So, as on top of that, you're not getting DR from them. Nice.
Yeah, I'll take it. And, and I think that's the only thing. Well, that's one of the major things I wish Blizzard would work on, is making it to where you didn't have to go through and find formulas to fully understand what your caps were for each stat for your DRs.
I mean, so there's no cap per se anymore, right? Like, I'm over cap per se on um, mastery because I have so much mastery. I've lost 3 mastery. Like, I'm over by 3 mastery, right?
Right.
But like, even though I'm going over, I'm still retaining some of that mastery, and that even though I've lost some mastery, it would still be better to have mastery rather than have like versatility for me.
Right. I mean, you still get something from those extra points. You just
Yeah,
don't
just
get
not
as
as
much as you
much.
did up to that point. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think it drops to like
it's
0.9%.
yeah, it drops 10% for the first tier, and then it drops 20% and 30% as you get higher and higher. So instead of getting 50, you're going to get 45. Okay, well then you hit another tier. Well, instead of another 50, now you're going to get 40 or whatever, right? Depending on how many tiers you hit into. I think the highest I've gotten into DR is like 30%.
I've never did my calculations. I do know that I think my warlock,
Oh, I just use add-ons that tell me I ain't doing nothing by hand.
my warlock got up to like 60% mastery, and that's back when my character stats actually worked, where it showed you, on your UI what your verse, mastery, haste, whatever was. Um, and then with whatever procs, I haven't seen it run up to like 80% with procs, but I always run at about 60% mastery. So I knew I was into my DRs, but it was still better than dropping some of that for, crit or whatever else.
Yeah, crit's a hard one because it's like, yes, it increases your damage, but only if you're actually critting. And so, people they put a lot of emphasis on crit, but like really once you hit like over like 35% chance to crit, like your value from it is going to go down even if you're not hitting the DR from the stats itself, because the DR just means it's reducing how many stats you're getting, right? But just mathematically, the higher up in crit you go, the less of a bonus it's really giving you. Whereas haste, it's always active. Versatility, it's always active. Mastery, it's always active. Crit's only increasing the chance that you actually get a crit. And so, going from, let's say 39% to 40% crit, like that 1% extra crit isn't as good as going, let's say, 15% to 16%. Like, those are two big differences.
And that's where I think majority of classes and specs, especially in the War Within all seasons, most every spec I played was some version of mastery and haste. Usually with versatility being, you know, kind of fluctuating as how important it was. Um, there was only one or
Mm.
two specs I played that kind of suggested crit as highly important.
I mean, I think it's important for everyone. I'm just saying, just statistically, the more you add crit, the less it's important. Even if it's super important for your class, like if I add, you know, like I said, 39 to 40% crit, that 1%, how much rating did that take, right? And if I'd put that rating into just mastery instead, I bet you I'd do more damage, even though I lost a percent in crit. I gain more mastery. My moves are going to do more damage now for that crit to actually take effect on. Like, if you crit everything but you got no bonus damage, then your crits are just wet noodles.
Yeah.
You know, so
You're critting
so
all the time, but they're not hitting hard.
right, because like a normal crit does it without like any modifiers or talents, it does double damage. Well, okay, double damage with no modifiers. Whereas if I got a bunch of mastery, well, that's, for me, I'm doing 60% more holy damage. Okay, so if I get a crit, I'm doing 60% more damage plus my 200% damage. And so, the crit is just a flat, here's a bonus 200% damage without, some talents change it like to 240 or 280 for specific moves and stuff like that. Or like a talent might be like, oh, you do 10% extra crit damage with X move, right? So it's going to be a multiplier. And so, the more of those you can stack on, the more that move does, right? But that crit chance, like, it's always going to just be flat double damage, more or less.
Right.
And so, it's just a mathematical thing. If I roll a 10-sided dice, how many times am I going to get a 1 through 3? Oh, 30%. Crit's the same way. Put it into a 100-sided dice though, and if you got, your crit's 40% and you go into 41%, when you roll that dice, it's not going to be a big difference if you just stayed at 40 as opposed to 41, rolling a 1 through 40 or a 1 through 41. And so even though you're not hitting a diminishing return on your actual stats, like I've lost 3 mastery because I have too much mastery. Like you got diminishing return on that, but you got diminishing return in just the 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 way that this math works in general.
Now, the only thing that, and this made me think of it, the one gem that gave you the 0.15% increased crit effect.
Right. That's another multiplier. Right. So,
But
you got all these multipliers, right, on your damage. So your base damage was, 10. And then when you crit, it becomes 20. But then because of your mastery, that was another 50% damage. So now you do 30 damage. And then you got your little gem that adds a little bit. And then you got a talent that adds, X, Y, or Z. So these are all multipliers, right? And so, but that crit's always just double damage. Whereas your other multipliers, from, for instance, versatility and mastery can go up. And so that's going to make your moves hit harder. Crit doesn't make your moves really hit harder because, you always got a chance to crit. Like, even if you don't add any dang crit stat, like, you're still going to have some crit from, whatever. Like it's impossible not to have any crit, right? But that's
yeah,
just
because
giving you the probability of adding that one extra modifier. So if you got 5 modifiers that affect your damage, but one of them's just a probability, then it's not always active.
and see, I think I missed that about how the stats were originally, where agility increased your critical strike chance if you were an agility using class. And I think for casters, the higher your intellect, the higher your crit chance was, because spirit was your regen. And I just I don't like the direction stats went. Like I miss resilience and armor pen being PvP. And when versatility first came out, that's kind of how it was sold. Is this is replacing both. You know, you just get the damage increase and the damage reduction all in one stat.
Yeah.
And now to play the game now, versatility is like a all around stat that just helps you, period. But it's not quite as important as your mastery and your haste for most classes. But tanks want, you know, a fair level of versatility to help their survivability.
Well, I mean, if you're doing PvP, versatility is huge. So like versatility, like I don't want Annie as a rep paladin doing PvE, but doing PvP, I want it all. And so yeah, they sold versatility as replacement for armored pen and resilience because those were PvP.
But they've
Armor
put a
pen, you
weight.
could argue that that was used, by Fury Warriors a little bit in PvE, but depending on the mob you're fighting, it had different, effect. If you're fighting a Clothy, what's armor pen doing? Nothing. But if you're fighting, a boss that had a lot of armor, then that armor pen, was given a lot of effect then for that Fury Warrior. And PvP was always a big deal, but like in PvP, armor pen was still more effective against a plate person than your priest, right? But now that it's replaced with just versatility, then we can put versatility on this gear, and now you can use it's mainly for PvP, but still has an effect for PvE, so we don't have to just completely um, have two full completely sets of gear per se. Like you could still use it and still be fine. It may not be the best stat that you want for PvE, but it's still um, not a bad stat per se.
Yeah, I mean, it always gives you a little bit in PvE, and like you said, you know, it is one of your bigger things in PvP. Um, which I think I always run mine a little on the low side, but not like 20% was my lowest. But you're gonna get that from your PvP gear, period. Um, so it's kind of you don't think about it quite as much because it's just naturally there. But I was looking at, I don't know if it was a rogue or it was one of the classes that suggested, you know, in your stat priority list that versatility was, you know, higher than crit as far as importance.
Oh, he got healed.
Do what?
I'm doing PvP, and this lucky guy got healed.
Oh, you PvPing with your warrior?
No, with my paladin.
Oh,
Paladin's just got
See,
more oh shoot buttons, and
well,
I'm
paladins,
trying to farm the transmog for him.
paladins are notoriously like OP. So I feel sorry for the people that you're going up against.
Yeah, I'm doing rated battlegrounds, and they're gonna lose. That's pretty bad.
You still awake over there, Kara?
Yes.
You was quiet, which is abnormal. So just checking.
I killing shit. I'd be otherwise occupied killing shit. And contrary to belief, I actually do get quiet sometimes.
Usually when I get quiet, I'm concentrating on something because I have a bad habit of starting to talk and then running in circles, just randomly killing shit and not even trying to complete the quest I'm on.
I, I feel you. I was just looking at something on my mini map and I'm going, how do I get there? That looks interesting and I want to check it out. How do I do it? I don't know how to get there.
I've been over here kind of entertained by how much fun the Frost Mage is compared to how it was a couple months ago before they did the changes.
Hmm.
It it feels like ridiculously overpowered now, like one and two shot and 90% of stuff. So I'm like considering playing this as one of my main classes in Midnight.
Cross mage, they got a lot
Yeah.
powerful.
See, I'm hoping they did a little something with Fire Mage because Fire Mage just felt pitiful. I tried playing my Unholy DK, which was one of my favorite classes, but they mess with the talent tree, and I don't like some of the changes. So
Oh, still got like 15 minutes before I gotta go get my spawn lane.
uh, my kids, or my kid, was out of school again today because of all this snow on the ground. So, and there'll probably be a 2 hour delay tomorrow.
Dang.
So yeah,
Oh, mine went back to school yesterday. They're like, no, no, no. Hey, I'll go that way.
Hey, Williamson, appreciate that follow.
My directive is to serve you. Return and
I love snow. I love the look. I love the feel. I'm just, I'm mad because I'm thinking that that's why all my, or my shipment has been delayed, but it's still
Oh,
stuck in California. And I'm like,
Where there
I
ain't
looked at
snow.
yeah, I looked at their weather and they had like 60 degrees and nice. And I'm like, okay, my package shipped from one Amazon or FedEx facility in somewhere California to Tracy, California, which I'm guessing is their main distribution hub, 2 hours away from the other location. And it's been sitting there for a week, and y'all can't even start it in this direction. Give me a break.
Sheesh. Sheesh.
And then you try to call these people, and they give you an automated AI, which wants to tell you that we can't further help you. Goodbye.
So, uh, my niece like desperately wanted Labubu's for Christmas. I had gotten Labubu's for my daughter, so I had the app on my phone. And my sister-in-law was like, "Look, I don't feel like going through this hassle of trying to download it and figure it out and blah blah blah. Would you buy it on your app and then I'll just Venmo you the money?" I'm like, "Yeah, no big." End of November, December 5th, it was I forgot it was somewhere, I forgot where. December 20th, hasn't nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. And I'm like, what the heck? And I'm trying to talk, and all I'm getting is AI. Well, then I finally somehow, like I was on my laptop instead of my phone, and I somehow actually did manage to get to an actual person. And I'm like, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Holidays, I get it, yada, yada, yada. And she's like, "No, I'm looking at your tracking and something does not look right here. So, yeah, we're just going to reship you your order." I'm like, and like, somehow, like, it was like you figured out I figured out what she was going to get before it arrived. And it was like the rare, which was like 1 in 72. I'm like, so am I going to get like the exact thing, or are you just going to send me like some randoms? She's like, "No, it's going to be your exact order." I'm like, "Cool." 2 weeks later, I had it. And this says it's coming from like China. And I had it in 2 weeks. I was like, "Okay, you know what? I am totally giving you your customer service like a 10 out of 10. Once I got to an actual live human being and not AI crap, it was like, "No, you have to talk to the shipper. It's a problem with the shipper." Well, yeah. So yeah,
Well,
all that to say, I feel you. And it might be if you get on the customer service enough times, you might actually manage to get to a real person.
see, the thing is
Um,
I bought it through Best Buy, and FedEx picked the package up like a day or two after I placed the order, and it shows FedEx picking it up and then transferring it to their main warehouse, um, which is in Tracy, California. But it's not moved from their warehouse. And when you look on the tracking information, it says your delivery is going to be late, but it doesn't give you any reason. And like, is there a problem at the facility? Is there, you know, lack of truck drivers? Is X, Y, and Z? And
did
they
you
can't
lose
even
my shit?
well, they can't even update and give me an estimated delivery date. It's like I feel like I'm just dangling out here in limbo, and there's nothing more frustrating than getting AI or what they call live chat, which is AI, telling me, "Well, this is the only
What?
information we have."
Which is the exact same shit I have already been staring at. That your information is no different than my information, so you're very unhelpful. What time is it?
Yes, I am highly anti AI. I don't see any benefit, so I get very frustrated.
Oh, I feel you 100%.
Oh, the benefit's definitely there. 100%. Um, the
It's
coolest
just not
thing
any
I
benefit
think
to
I've
us.
seen it work with is video games. It needs more work, sure, but like, no, imagine this. No, no, hear me out. So think about this. The game knows everything you've done in the game, right? And so the choices you make and stuff, AI can be like, okay, he made this choice, he did this, he's talked to this person, he's never talked to this person. And you can have AI change what characters say based on, how much you've interacted with people, if you gave them gifts, if you showed up to XYZ event that was in the game. You didn't have to show up. Did you show up? Oh, hey, remember last year when you gave me that peach pie? And so all these things that would have been a huge pain in the butt for the game devs to code in as if this then that's could just be easily done by the AI. And then based on what you've also done, you could have the AI, oh, hey, make new quests, with, that's along, these parameters. I think
Well,
there's huge things for AI. It's, do we
but
really
right
need
there,
10,000 data centers? That's the
well,
better
no,
question, because like
right.
that AI could just be built into the game and ran on the person's personal GPU, no data center needed.
Okay, that sounds cool. But what you just said
Okay.
is loss of jobs, which
Oh, 100%.
it
AI is loss of jobs.
so
But lots of things are
that's
loss of jobs. Like
n-
you got streetlights, right? Okay, people used to light those with natural gas, and we had people that used to light streetlights. That was more of a Europe thing, but like there was people that were called lamplighters, and they went and lit streetlights. But then electricity came, and we no longer needed them, right? So they lost their job. So that's going to happen regardless of AI or not. Something's going to come out, and people are going to lose their jobs here or there. You know, Ford used to make his whole cars on an assembly line with a bunch of technicians. Now you got a bunch of robots that do majority of it. Like automation and progress is always going to get rid of some jobs, 100%.
true, but it's not beneficial for us as a people, as a society. There's a limit of progress that crosses the line of being beneficial to detrimental.
I mean, it's always going to be a growing pain. I don't think that we need the bajillion amount of data centers that everyone's trying to make, following it as like a gold rush and I have to get in on this and make all these buku bucks. I think that's overboard. But to think that AI is not going to be in our future, like, have you never watched Star Trek? Like, it's been told to us for the last 60 years.
Well, since you bring up
it,
fiction, have you watched Terminator?
I sure
Case,
have. I sure
case in
I
have.
point,
Robot.
that's the direction we're headed. To think
I
that
Robot.
a AI at some point will not be making those types of decisions. I mean, it already is. It tells you what you want to watch on your TV. So the more emphasis put on it, the more control as humans we have people gonna relinquish control to it. I mean, yes, it's fiction. Maybe it's conspiracy. Maybe it's X, Y, and Z. But is it a possibility? We have to entertain the fact that it is.
You know,
I
I'm
mean,
just
We're sad.
it's an inevitableness. It's also like you can put this over everything. We used to buy and sell stuff with bartering, and it give you this chicken, I'll give you 10 chickens for that cow. Well, hey, I need a bull for my cow. I'll give you I'll give you my first calf if you let me use your bowl, right? We had bartering. And then we upgraded and we had coins. And then we upgraded again. We got paper money. And we upgraded again. We got debit cards and credit cards and checks, etc., right? And now the next upgrade's cryptocurrency. Even if you don't personally use cryptocurrency, like, we put people on Mars and they're living and working on Mars. Do you think we're going to pay people living on Mars US dollars? Like it obviously is going to need to evolve, right? And sometimes that comes with pains. Eventually, right, we're going to have self-driving cars so good that semis won't need to drive themselves. You could just have the AI drive these semis across the country. So
Yeah,
so
see,
now you're out truck drivers and a lot of truck drivers, right? So with progress comes pain, 100%. Um,
but at what point are you going to replace? Because you could pretty much replace everybody with AI.
oh
You
yeah,
could make AI that repairs AI. I mean,
100%.
and at some point,
Oh,
we're not needed anymore.
yep, agreed. You're
Which,
the government's going to have to input some basic income, right? For just living. Here you go. Here's $1,000 a month or whatever it happens to be. A hundred
yeah,
percent. That's why if you watch again Star Trek, if you watch Star Trek, they actually don't even have money. They're like money. We abolished that hundreds of years ago.
well, I mean, okay, you wouldn't even have to give money. Just every human being at, you know, X age, you're provided your housing, you're provided your food, you know, you're everything will have to become
Hey, what's
kind
up,
of
Flume?
automatic,
I'm doing
which gets away
I'm
from.
doing rated
I mean,
battlegrounds as well as just
you can
regular
argue a hundred
battlegrounds. I'm
ways
trying to farm
how it
both
benefits one way,
honor and
but I have to
conquest.
look at how bad it hurts society
Um, I'm trying to go for the conquest. I'm just
versus
trying to
its
grab some of
importance.
the
Can we live
PvP
without
gear
AI?
that
Of course we can.
I
Can
never
we live
grabbed during the
without
season,
cars? Of course we
and
can.
then with
It's
just
become a
the
modern
honor, just getting
convenience.
these marks and
I will
going
say
back and
that.
getting
But
Horses are
old
expensive,
weapons and
man.
armor.
and
But good to see you, Flume.
it hurts the younger generation, say cell
Yeah, the
phones. Any of us,
solo big blitz. Yeah,
more than
just
likely,
join
you can do
solo
without your cell phone.
and whatnot.
No,
I,
I have a bad brain. I can't memorize phone numbers no more. I have
well,
my mommy's number and my daddy's number because they haven't changed their phone number ever.
well, I, numbers aside, and back when we had address books and directories
That's
and
too much
yellow
to carry.
pages,
I don't even like carrying a damn purse.
a
I just
typical
stick my keys
18-year
in.
old cannot function without having their cell phone in their hand at all times. There's days when my cell phone lays on my nightstand for 2 or 3 days. I don't even touch it.
That's a shame, Flume.
That's what.
I can't say anything
Oh,
because I
my chat.
Oh,
I have a mom that likes to text me a lot, so that's also because she understands that I am no bueno. Um, I don't like chatting on the phone.
Yeah, that's a shame on your mount right there. What percentage were you short? The 21. Are they the same color or the same models as just what's in the raid and just a different color? Cuz like honestly, I thought the weapons from this season raid were just junk. Same model but yeah, different color. Yeah, I thought the I thought they were junk models honestly. You like the two hand and the pole arm? Like I grabbed the two hand from like my free little thing I got here, but I do not like the model at all. But yeah, just it's I mean it's the end of the season, end of the expansion. Like there's really not much for me to do, right? So I figured let's grind out some PvP, get some old transmogs and a little bit of the conquest ones that I didn't get. Advantage of doing so much PvP in all these seasons is I have like 700 of those marks of honor. Oh my gosh. Yeah, notice you've been playing other games. I mean, the last time I seriously PvP'd, like I'll do PvP at the start of an expansion, especially because like you get the right for 1600 rated, you get an extra catalyst now. Like 1600 rated is easy, so I start the season off by doing PvP because everyone like no one has gear, right? So everyone's pretty equal. But then as we continue on, I switch to Mythic Plus and rating. But my jam is Mythic Plus. I don't care for the rating and the PvP too much. I do the rating just because it's a necessary evil. If you're trying, like, oh, you had to get these stupid boots, for your Rizeshi reps to trigger more. So you can boost and make gold. Maybe I should do that. You play on the EU servers though, don't you? Yeah. I feel like boosting on Mythic Plus, you gotta have, um, 4 of the 5. And I can get the healer roll filled, I can get the tank roll filled by myself, but I can never get 2 dedicated DPS to queue with out of the people. You both boost solo. How do you boost solo? Like as a tank? Like, oh, I'll go and do 8s and the communities fill the slots. I don't quite understand. Like, so you're sharing the gold with the community. So it's like where is it? Like a like you made a community, and then you're gonna be like, hey, we'll sell, a slot, and then you're sharing the gold with that community. Because I feel like people would get really pissed off if you said you were carrying someone and then they don't know that you're doing said carry for gold. His advertiser finds people for X amount, then he links the run on Discord and he needs 1 healer, 1 tank, 2 DPS, then we try to armor stack it. Then each booster gets 15% of total amount. Yo, I need to find one of these. I need to find one of these groups. Because sometimes I'm just like, I'm just doing this just for my quest. Or, the quest crest Why, that's a tongue twister today. Yeah, Nova boosting. I need to look into that. Because, like, I'll do mythic. Like, I gear out 4 characters a season. And so doing 32 mythic plus and or more a week, like, it's rough. But to be able to get paid while I'm doing that, 9 mil season 1 and 2, jeez. Because I'll DPS on like 1 toon, and then I'll tank on 2, and I'll heal on a 3rd or the 4th, so I can get my achievement for doing the heal, tank, and DPS 6, 7, 8s. I mean, honestly, like, minus the DPS, I can freaking solo those right now. I mean, I don't know who's paying for boost right now. I'm sure someone is. The end of the season, I need my teleports. Still a few people doing, but you stopped for now. You didn't do none this season? Yeah, I'm a broke. I think my total gold's like 1 million. Yeah, 600K. I feel like I got more gold than that, but oh, because some of my gold's in my personal guild bank, and I don't think it's showing that. Let's see, find community search boosting. Sort by most members. Oh, I'll have to look on Reddit then, probably. You said Nova something. Let me go back and look at that. Nova boosting North America. I found it for what do I ping? Nova NA was shut down. That guy will kill him. We can go up here. There probably is. I'll definitely give it a search after this. He went on the side. They got a few really undergeared players in this BG for sure. He's over there. It'll be Mythic 0 first, and then the next week. So first week it won't be shit, and then next week it'll be Mythic 0, and then next week it'll fully open.
We sure they're going to have that, but I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'm gonna say this straightforward. I think this mythic training shit is bullshit. She's adding more work to something I don't even know. I have literally no idea what you want me to do. Like I know what you're telling me, Khan. I know what other type people are telling me, but this is it's me off. This is why I'm gonna get a helper. I'm gonna get at least 2 people to help me with it. Just doing stuff. Hi, Gwymlyn.
The big thing with Mythic Plus is really just being able to have like dungeon knowledge and your personal character knowledge, right? Like, you know, I play, you know, my main is a ret paladin, but I tank, I DPS, I heal. I got like 4 characters at max gear right now. But I can't do that with 4 characters if I don't know those characters' classes. You know, like I can't just be like, "Oh, I'm going to go play a rogue and get max gear." No, because I suck as a rogue. I can't play rogue. I'm good enough to level a rogue to 80 and that's about it. After that, I would never use that rogue in anything worthwhile because I am not a rogue player. I go in there and I'm going to do no damage and be just a drain on the team.
Like, there was another point. I would have to go look at it in our officer chat. I don't know where, but there was somewhere where she was asking me to give other people class help. Is like there's only like a select number of people I can help. I don't know anything. I know jack shit about rogues. I hate rogues anyways. They're good for PvP. We'll say that, but I don't like them. I can't help you if you play DPS Shaman. I can help you if you play Resto, but not that. But anything else, I can't really help in the Warlock department. I can't help in. I can't really help in anything that I don't play. Pretty much.
Well, if it's about rotation and whatnot, minus like maybe a macro trick or something like that, like it really kind of boils down to personal responsibility, right? Like it's your responsibility to go learn about your class. You can go to Wowhead or Icy Veins or etc., and go, pull up, a class talent sheet for what you want to do. And it gives you, hey, here's the best in slot items. Here's the items that you need to try to gear for. Oh, you're playing this. Well, here's your stat priority. Mastery and crit and haste are equal, and versatility last, or whatever the stat is for your class and spec. But like, you can't expect anyone to like go and do the basics for someone if they're wanting to do like Mythic Plus. If you want to go do heroics, like that's a lower tier point in the game, by all means, like go and learn there, right? But if you want to go do mythics, doing mythic dungeons is equivalent to doing, a entry, like a mythic 2 is the same as doing the raid on normal, right? And then doing a mythic 6 is the same as doing the raid on heroic. So if you can't do the raid on normal, you can't do a mythic 2 because it's the same difficulty, if you will. It's laid out in a different way, and I'd argue that the dungeon's slightly easier, but that's just because you're only relying on 5 people and not 10 to 20. But the difficulty is innately the same, right? And so, and then vice versa, as you get higher up in the mythics, then it gets closer to mythic rating, and that's why they're giving you mythic gear from the vault. So if you're not at that level as a player, that's fine. Like, not everyone is at that level. But if you're not willing to go and do your own learning, your own research, and your own investigation into what you need to do for your class, then you were never there in the first place.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's like college. Ain't no one go to college just so they can go to college. You go there to get your learn on. Apply that same thing everywhere else.
Like you said, the only thing I can really give to people for any class helps, instead of specifically for people like the spec site classes and stuff, I don't know. I can really only give them like the Wowhead, Icy Bands, and if they would need like a rotation, like a basic rotation, I'd honestly use the assisted highlighting thing game. That's what I do for my hunter and my rogue. Actually, I use the one button push for my rogue. I use like for my hunter, I use the highlighted rotation. Pretty good, actually. But yeah,
being
really good.
a class help for every class, there are very few WoW players that are that proficient and on that level with every class.
Yeah, like if you people need to come to me for help for anything, please be a healer. I can help you in the healer department. Probably can't help you in anything else. So,
well, that's how it should be. I mean, there's going to be a handful of people in the whole guild that, like our Kiri main's a mage. She plays that 90% of the time. That would be if I had a mage question. I need to know the basics, but if I'm trying the basics and it's just not flowing, maybe I'm just not doing something right or I'm missing one little thing. And just maybe by talking with them and getting a little advice, then that might enhance my gameplay. But The fundamentals are fundamentals. You have to work, practice, muscle memory as far as, knowing where your buttons are, where your abilities are, and how to actually use them effectively. That's something that just playing over time and learning the rotation and being able to go through it, but still being adaptive to, when you need to interrupt or when you need to blink or use a defensive. You can't teach people that. They just have to do it enough to know it.
Yeah. Breaking this down, I'm just
So
gonna respond to each thing.
yeah, I don't think one person should be in charge of class
I
help
don't.
for
I
all
don't think she
classes.
was. I don't. In all honesty, I don't think she was asking me to know every single class. I think she was more of like just
For what
saying
you
that.
knew.
Yeah, pretty much what I knew, which I
Huh.
know. Like I can tell you for a fact, I know all the. I know most, if not all, healing specs. I fucking hate Holy Pally, so I probably won't help you on that. I love evokers. I like the evoker. I like the aug and the preservation. I'll be a big help with Devour Demon Hunter. Because that is one of my mains I'm gonna play. Druid, Resto Druid, I could help you in. Priest, Monk, Hunter, Frost Mage. You know. So. Hey, Gremlin, do you need? Are you good with like? Are you good? Do you? Would you be willing to help other people with Mythic Plus and stuff? Maybe like a Mythic training type thing? Like train new people on how to do Mythic Plus? Just gonna wait for a response. Thank you. Like, do you like people? Do you like making people happy? Could you help them in like specifically for DPS of like what to interrupt, when to move and when not to move, and all that fun stuff? What to specifically kill and not kill? All right, cool. All I needed to know. Would you be willing to help, be like a little helper for the PvE officer for that? Would you like to be a help, like a little helper for the PvE officer? If you want, I can type it too. All right, cool. That's all I needed. Type this. I'm getting 3 helpers specifically, one for DPS, one for healers, and one for tanks. Actually, I'm going to be the healer one. I only need another one for tanking. All right, I'm glad. Yeah, just glad. Thanks. You're a big help.
You keep talking about mythics, and now I'm sitting here like wishing that this month would go by so we can get started leveling. I guess though it's all well because that gives me time to build my new computer if all the parts will finally come in.
What do you mean build a new computer?
Build a new computer.
What parts you got?
I got the new motherboard sitting
Which
beside me.
is
An Asus ROG Strix Wi-Fi enabled motherboard.
are you replacing your GPU?
There's too much Satoshi in this I could call.
No. GPU is going to stay the same because graphics are not my struggle.
What are you going to for your CPU then?
It is going to be a AMD Ryzen i5 processor.
What? That don't make no sense.
I think he means R5. But if you're going to AMD, here's my recommendation is save up for an X3D CPU because WoW doesn't use a lot of processes or like the cores on your CPU. So having a lot of cores isn't necessarily good. What you want is a really high speed on each core. And the cache on the AMD CPUs is really helpful for WoW. So like I have a 13900K and I can tell you in a 4080 and like the game is severely limited by the CPU, and if you went and like looked at how much my CPU is being used, it's like 15%. So I'm limited by the game on CPU, but it's only using 15% of my CPU because it only uses like 2 freaking cores. So like if you're doing an upgrade, I would splurge for the AMD CPU with the X3D cache, and you will see the biggest improvement ever from that rather than just getting like a generic AMD CPU. Because like I had the 5800 XT CPU on the AM4 platform before I upgraded, and like my frames compared to that to now is almost the same, even though my CPU is like a monster compared to that CPU, because this game just doesn't use the any modern CPU to any real usage. But that X3D cache, big difference for sure.
We'll see anything compared to a single core i3 processor is an upgrade.
I mean, I give you
Like-
that. I give you that.
Look,
I do give
have
you
seen
that.
I have seen my max CPU usage on WoW up to 450%.
I
So-
would give you that. I 100%.
And to upgrade graphics, for shits and giggles, I went to a website and just max built a PC. And it was, and this is in ridiculous, laughable amounts, $15,500.
Jesus.
$5,000 of that was in the top of the line NVIDIA GPU.
The 50
Yeah.
$5,000. Yes.
What's your budget? Out of curiosity for this build.
My budget is zero now. I've done bought everything.
Oh, you already bought it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the package.
You're just
I'm
waiting for
on,
that package, and that's the package that
That's
they
the
don't know where the
fancy-
heck it is. Gotcha.
the CPU.
Now it's all
Yeah,
coming full circle.
I've got the motherboard. I've got the power supply. Yeah,
How
give me
much
a
did you
minute, buddy.
spend?
CPU was 90.
That's not bad.
The power supply was 35. And I think the
35 for a power supply.
Was
yes.
it used?
No, brand new. It was and it might not be the best brand. It's something, but it's a 700 watt. I mean, it's not high end, but it's better than a 15-year-old power supply that's in the PC now.
Sure.
True.
It's Blue Gears is the name of the company.
I never heard of it.
That's worrying.
Not that it's saying anything. It's sold. I bought it through Best Buy.
Mhm.
So I'm not saying it's credible or not credible. It's just not like a, a third party website like the case I found that I was going to buy that was $62, and you start reading reviews and they talk about they use such flexible metal that it doesn't support your, you know, parts, that it flexes when you put any kind of weight on it. So I mean, it was just like a basic upgrade, and it was the Ryzen 5 5500. It's just a 6-core 12-thread processor. I mean, it's nothing fancy, but maybe I'll be able to run WoW and not like glitch to the point my character's running all over hell in half of Georgia without me.
Yeah, for sure.
And it really didn't start that till I had installed a gamepad and like what was it, a Logitech gaming mouse. I think maybe the software having to run to, accommodate the backlighting and stuff was using possibly more memory or more CPU usage. But right now I can't open a web page and run WoW. Like opening one single web page causes me to just go
Jeez.
to shit.
And
Puts
I
you
can't have
over
a
the
web
top.
page and a. I can't have a video playing and WoW at the same time.
Well, your PC is a little better than mine.
Just a little bit.
Because the only upgrade I put in this old ass PC was the memory I bought, uh, which WoW don't seem to intrude too much on RAM. So
How many fucking devour demon hunters? Jesus.
They're everywhere.
they have all those lovely self heals.
And they can pump too. Oh, father, can you buy me one of those mouses that you have for my birthday?
Oh, guys, this is really cute. I'm so glad you have a father figure actually present in your life. I don't.
Must be nice.
One of those,
I know.
mouses that I had.
Can I call
talking
Tom
about-
Dad?
No, you're
I'm
not
sure
calling
you-
me daddy. Say
I'm sure you could, but
No, I don't want to call you Daddy. I want to call you Dad.
oh, yeah, there is a difference there.
Is that one of your
No,
6
a little bit.
No, I want your son. That's all.
Oh, have mercy.
50,000 gold.
What?
I'm not giving you 50,000 gold.
Oh my god. Is that the going price these days?
Do I have to give you
50,000?
50,000? Do I have to give you 50,000 just to date you?
That's it?
For me to even consider.
Oh, okay. So your son's gay. That's gay. That's fucking gay.
No, I'm not.
You sure after that statement?
Why can't it just be a traditional bromance? You know,
Because I'll get attacked. I will get attacked. I won't even be a bromance anymore. It's bros before hoes. That is true though.
MLB.
oh,
Best advice I could ever give a young man. MLB.
Baseball?
No.
what?
Money over
What?
bitches.
Over.
Oh, I thought you said MLB.
No.
No. MOB.
I knew your son was special.
I'm not against dating and whatnot, but you gotta realize that women cost money. A lot of it.
Men don't cost money.
Gay ones
Figuratively
do.
less. Everyone costs money, but like
Okay. I think I broke this down as much as I could. So I'm just gonna do that.
Ouch. Let's see. Ugh.
Excuse me.
I basically said like mythic training sounds good for a weekend, Friday or Saturday night, Friday night or Saturday. I literally can't give anything else. She said what set days or times are teachers willing to be paying to have appointments, and she said need specifics. Saying whenever is not helpful. I literally said it really is whenever because I don't know the times and days for everyone, and I gave out like I'm really good for Friday to Sunday, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Because I want to reserve my nights to actually hang out with people I want to be around.
So who are
You
we
guys,
teaching?
you guys are exhausted. Huh?
Who are we teaching?
We're supposed to be teaching new players.
In the guild?
Yeah. Because apparently there's not a lot of people that have actually done M+. Like, I know there's one person that has never done even raiding. So...
Well,
I'm not
all
helping
I
with
do
raiding.
is Mythic Plus. So
Oh, you're perfect then.
I think next season I want to try to push for Glad, but that's on it.
You're becoming a helper.
Do I get paid for it?
No.
Fuck.
I was gonna say something really dirty, but I can't. Connie, can I say it?
No. Reserve that when it's too early for that shit.
Darn.
I hadn't had enough coffee yet.
Oh, maybe then it's perfect to say it. Let me. It doesn't even matter. I said worse things. Actually, no, I haven't. Actually, no. Actually, that'd probably be one of the worst
Just
things.
because you said worse things don't mean you need to say bad things.
You're gonna be like a sex helper to me.
Okay.
I hate myself. Mm. Honestly, that's probably like as tame as it will get. Oh, that's pretty fun though. Alrighty, I guess I gotta go to Twilight Highlands or some shit. So.
Oh, this is pumping.
Are you gonna stay on that Frost Death Night, the main for midnight?
Yeah.
Pinky. Imagine playing Frost.
I was gonna play my Balance Druid again, but with the changes to the Eclipse, I don't particularly like it.
You don't want to be a furry.
What?
So what you're telling me? You don't want to be, what did furries do to you?
Did they make it worse than they did when they went into season 3?
I would, yeah, I'd say so, because you can brick yourself to where you can't put yourself into Eclipse,
That's stupid.
which before pre-patch, you weren't able to do that.
Okay. I haven't been on my druid since. All I remember is you cast two of one spell and you were automatically in the eclipse for the other spell.
Yeah, you don't, you cast the spell, like, okay, for Lunar Eclipse, you're gonna cast 2 Star Surges, or whatever it's called,
Right.
and then your Eclipse button lights up blue, or it's blue, and then you press it to go into Lunar Eclipse.
Wait, you have to press a button to go into the eclipse now?
Yep,
You're not automatically put in it?
yep.
What kind of stupidity is that?
I think they did it so you have better control of when you use it.
Okay.
So Gremlin, where's your house at?
I don't have one yet.
You can get one.
I'm in a dungeon right now.
I feel like I should start working on this hiding spot for this thing. I'm gonna host a very small event, and it's gonna take at least, I'm giving people at least an hour to find said at a certain, like, I'm gonna give it, like, it's gonna be like a little scavenger hunt. You have like, I mean, honestly, probably 30 to 45 minutes to fill it out and finish it. The winner will get 15,000 gold. So
You already spent the 15,000 I gave you?
no, I'm using it as a scavenger hunt.
What's being scavenged?
My nuts.
That could be interesting.
Okay, well, okay. No, it's a scavenger hunt that I'm going to be hosting inside my house.
Even
and
more
the-
eyebrow raising now.
Yeah, the first person to fill it out will get 15,000 gold. It's only a one winner thing, so only one winner can get it.
And is this scheduled to take place?
Probably sometime in April.
Hey. Okay.
I say April because I'm waiting for, I'm not actually doing anything until we get more of the housing stuff. We get a lot more housing in midnight. Gosh, Tom, get with the times. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's 2:34. Y'all should have delivered my check by now. Where y'all at?
When's the last time you Instacarted?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yesterday. Why?
And you couldn't give me a pizza?
Dang.
How am I supposed to order a pizza for delivery on a food stamp card?
You said you Instacarted yesterday.
Yes. Well, basically, it's Walmart delivery. Oh, you. Never mind. I thought you meant had food delivered. My brain. See, when you asked me that, I thought you was talking about having groceries delivered here. The last time I was able to work, I worked Saturday. I was able to work about 4, 5 hours, but we had ice on the road. Amari didn't go to school Monday through Thursday last week, and then 2 hour delay on Friday. And then this week so far, no school yet. And the roads have been pretty bad. I think there's at least a 2 hour delay in the morning because we still got snow on the ground. I don't know what kind of weather y'all working with. I'm gonna try to work tomorrow. But yeah. Okay. Still working. Did you ever go get your energy drinks?
Yeah, I did. They got a new flavor that I like.
What's that?
Uh, electric blue. It's
Is that
like
like a
blue
ghost?
raspberry. Nah, it's a monster.
Really?
Yeah, they
Okay.
also have an orange dreamsicle too.
Now I knew they had an orange dreamsicle. I hadn't seen
Have you tried
the
the apple one?
uh tried apple and something. I don't know if it was monster. But I'm not a big green apple fan. Anyhow, I don't like green apple candy that much.
My
No,
sister
no.
got a new one, so one of the new
Oh,
monsters, she says it's new.
Hello? Okay, there we go. I was saying hi earlier and then I realized I didn't have my mic on, my headphones.
hey, you can't do what I do now. You can't mute
No,
yourself
no,
and
no.
then
No, no, no.
talk
We
I
don't
through
didn't
need
it.
mute
a.
myself. I didn't mute myself. My mic wasn't connected to my headset at all. So I had no mic. And I was saying hi.
We don't need a
Well,
Tom 2.0.
in the
No, we
fashion of
already.
mini, I'm gonna play the mini. That sounds like a you problem and not a us problem.
It is a me problem. Also, I just want to say we already have a Ton 2.0. His spawn is right here. Actually, no, it's not there.
I'm
It's here.
completely separate.
Yeah, there already is a Ton 2.0. We can't take that back. We've already done fucked up.
Hey, you are in the kidnapping business now.
I am in the kidnapping business, and now I have kidnapped a child.
What?
We like kidnapping children! Yay!
Yeah, because that means you're not the youngest anymore. Woo!
I love kidnapping 19-year-old boys.
Okay, that sounds creepy. Well, oh my,
Yeah, that was creepy.
well, cause like you're 20, so it's different if you say it. But me hearing it is just like, wait a minute, we're not into the kidnapping of teenagers.
Now you know what I'm talking. Yeah, yeah. When did you? Hey, Ton.
Huh?
When does your son turn 20?
Oh
Next
my
month.
god.
Why
Next
don't you ask
month.
him?
Hey, what day is your birthday?
The 19th of March.
The 19th of March.
All right, I'm putting it in my calendar.
Should
Getting
I
fucking
do what they did
pre-ordered.
in the Joke Guild and just start making calendar events for everybody's birthday so that
You're
we
gonna
can harass
start.
them?
I'm gonna get you a big, girthy present.
Oh my god. No, no, no.
I'm gonna tie
Three.
myself underneath your. I'm gonna tie myself. I'm gonna tie up myself and
Okay.
send myself to your.
Nope, nope, nope. Anyways, I'm promoting someone
God.
to. Wait, I need to promote fucking Lady Luck to Goblin. Why didn't you promote him to Goblin? You can do that. And
Who?
Who?
Lady Luck, not there.
Huh?
You know, the person you specifically requested to be a
Oh,
goblin.
yeah. Can we name it to like slave?
No, it's goblin.
Damn it. Goblin slave.
This is not that kind of Discord.
I
It's
don't
not.
do free labor. At least
You
pay
what,
me
huh?
for services.
I am paying you for services.
One,
Oh, Lord.
this is all free labor. I'm a tyrant. Sucks to suck. You already are doing free labor. Actually, if I recall correctly, you paid us for you to do work.
Yeah, you
What?
paid me 15K.
That
Dang.
25k.
Because you left the key.
No. I'm saying like the stuff you donated. You donated like 25,000 gold, 50,000. No wait, it was Joseph Feline that donated 50k. But you donated a good chunk of gold.
25. Yeah, for lottery tickets.
Yeah, you paid us for you to do work.
What?
Yeah, that's how it works.
What work did I do?
You
Not
did stuff
yet.
at the guild, but you're doing stuff at the guild. That's the work you did.
You're being a good boy.
That's right.
Ew, I didn't like saying that. I want to kill myself.
Yeah, don't say that again, please.
No, he says it so frequently now. He then goes like, I don't like saying that, and then he says it again. So it's
And
like,
then I'll say it again.
yeah, it's like, I'm sensing some denial here.
Yeah, like I'm not a bottom.
You are a bottom though.
Okay, fucking die.
I also don't want to talk about whether or not you're a bottom because you're a child.
You're a child as well.
Child too,
I'm
man. Come
less
on.
of a child than you.
You're
I
7
still
years
have.
That doesn't help.
older.
That
No,
Yeah.
doesn't help.
So.
I know
Connor,
you are,
aren't
but
you,
what
like,
am I?
50?
Oh, Ton, are you gonna take that from your own son?
What? I didn't hear a word he said.
He said, "Aren't you like 50?"
I'm close. I'm 48. Don't get me there before I'm there.
I wouldn't take that disrespect from your own son.
No, I just
Neither do I.
because I have the view of anybody under 30 is a child. To me,
Look.
I mean, they all get
I-
locked together.
No. Hear me out, Ton. I identify as a 5-year-old. I'm fine with being considered a child. I am a young whippersnapper. However, Sage
You
is even
identify as
more
a
of a.
5-year-old?
I identify as a 5-year-old. You know, no responsibilities, free food, free everything, no job, never a job. That's the
just-
life.
That makes everything sound creepy, though, if you identify as a 5-year-old. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and you say, "Oh, oh, I don't want to." You said like the kidnapping thing sounded wrong.
Look, if a 5-year-old is kidnapping you, I'm just saying, sucks to suck. Get good, scrub. You're getting kidnapped by a 5-year-old? Dude's like shorter than your kneecap.
You're saying you're short. On
No,
top of
I'm not
being
short.
childish.
I am 5'9". I am childish, though.
We know.
Mhm.
That's why she got kicked out of Tokyo.
It is why I got kicked out of the joke guild. But you know what? Now y'all are stuck with my ass, you poor unfortunate sods, and you can't kick me out. Ha.
I'm just curious. Was the Joke Guild? Was that the name of the guild? The Joke
Yes,
Guild?
Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
yes. So,
Okay.
story time. It got created because we were making a mythic team, and it was going to be a jokey mythic team. They're all gnomes. And I said I was going to put my hunter and demon hunter in a real team, which they took offense to, and they're like, oh, so we're just the joke team. So when we left the old gods, we made the joke guild to make fun of the fact that I said I was going to bring my characters onto a real team, mythic team. And then voila, we had the joke guild. So not only did they kick me out, but they're stuck with a reminder of me of all times because that was an inside joke related to something I
Unless they
said.
change the guild name.
They didn't. I
I said
checked way too,
like unless they ever change the guild name, then it's not
which
even
I
a big
don't think they will. I'm curious
No.
if they changed the ranks though, since Kopi's leader now. Because originally the ranks were
Fuck.
Joker, Jester, Minions, and then it got
deal.
changed to Stupid Head, Idiot, and Idiot Head. Of
Wow,
which one?
those are original.
Oh yeah, there's. It's like, why the fuck would you name Stupid Head?
Someone let their 4-year-old name it. You stupid
They had the
head.
mentality.
No.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, no. When I saw, because they named it within a day of me transferring leadership, and I was like, what the fuck? And they're like, oh, it's so funny, ha ha ha. And it's like, it's so gross and stupid. Why would I want? I don't want to be called a fucking stupid head.
You're a stupid head.
You're a stupid head. So
See?
I can honestly say I've never seen that guild above any or associated with any character. So that's why I asked if y'all just called it the Joke Guild or if that was the actual name of it.
nope, it's the Joke Guild with. Are you currently online?
Who, me?
Yeah, you. I'll just.
Yeah.
I have calibrated my prices to be reasonable.
But then
What?
again, I can't believe people in
My
the
directive
old gods got so butthurt about just making a joke about something like that they're going to kick you out. I mean, that's a
No.
little.
The old gods never kicked me out. In fact, when I left, I got several whispers from people being like, "You left us, no! Why would you do that?"
Oh,
The Joke Guild is who kicked me out.
no.
The
I
old
thought you were saying the old guys kicked you out because you had made a comment about making a real mythic team.
no. So the Joke Guild, the main 5 people, the core group of it, we were on a mythic team, and I had said I was going to make join a real mythic team, and